Unicorns. We're painting unicorns today. Thank you for joining me for quarantine coloring. I'm Maddie Carr. We're gonna paint a unicorn flying over a beautiful sky, over a castle in the clouds. So that means that we're gonna do a nice gradient sky with some stars and a moon in it, and of course the unicorn. Thank you to Emma for suggesting this art piece today. And if you need the help, you can print this line art off onto your watercolor paper and paint on top of that if that helps. Today what you will be contributing to this piece is the castle. So as we're painting, think about what kind of castle in the clouds you'd like to paint today. And let's get started. For our colors today, we are going to stick with purple and blue for the sky. Get a nice big dollop of white on your palette, and we'll get some red as well, or if you have pink. We're going to be mixing white and red together to make a pink today. Get a nice big brush here and we will wet it, and we are going to start with purple. And we're going to take a nice big amount of purple, quite a bit of water today, and start at the bottom. And we're going in a nice horizontal fashion. Get some more water, get some more paint, and we're just gonna put it completely on the canvas. Just a bunch of stripes. More paint, more water. The more water you add, the easier it's gonna be to spread on your paper. And that's what we want right now, because we are creating a nice landscape of the sky. As we move up, when you're about halfway up the paper, let's switch over to blue. And you don't even need to clean your brush at this point because we're going to be mixing the purple and the blue together. So just go right in and bring more water as well. And blend the two colors together. So we want to fill this top half with blue. Okay, I don't know if you can hear it, but my mom is laughing at some joke. I should have told her that I'm filming right now. Sometimes it helps to go in little circles and then flatten it out, just because we want to cover the entire sheet of paper. Something that also helps is globbing paint, big globs of paint where you want to fill in the areas, and then making your brush wet and combining them all together. Because what we're looking for is a nice even surface that we can blend. See, now it's starting to blend from purple to blue. Purple's having a bit of a hard time, but we will just keep going with it. So all in all, there should be purple and blue, and then we're mixing them together right in the middle. That looks pretty mixed to me, don't you think? Awesome. So now the whole paint is very wet and it's drying in some corners, but I want to speed up the drying because I want to paint directly on this. So let's get our handy dandy hair dryer out, and on the low setting we're going to blast this with some warm air for maybe 30 seconds. once this is dry to the touch, then we are ready to move on to the next part, which is our unicorn. So wash off this big brush because acrylic paint dries pretty fast, and you don't want the paint to dry onto your brush because you'll never be able to get the paint out and you'll never be able to use the brush again. So make sure that you wash it out. Now let's take a smaller brush. This is about 1-inch brush, and we will get some water on it. For a unicorn, we're just gonna go straight with white for now. So get some white onto your brush. And we are going to make the unicorn be up in the blue part of the sky because down below here we're leaving room for your castle. So it's easier to break up an animal or the character into different shapes. And so we're going to be creating some circles right now. So let's put a circle kind of up here, right in the, sort of in the middle of the page. One nice circle, and then we're gonna make one just to the left of it, or right, I don't know my rights from my left. We are gonna put one right next to it with some space in the middle, and this circle's gonna be about the same size. Just a little bit smaller, but about the same size. Okay. And now let's connect these two with a bit of a curved line for creating the body right now. And then we'll connect the bottoms with another curved line. So we're ending up with almost a bean shape, like a jelly bean. I do not like jelly beans. I don't think they taste very good, but some people do. So, and it works great for the shape of a horse, which is what a unicorn is, just with a little spike on its head. Okay, so there's the body of our unicorn. Now we're gonna put the head, and we're gonna put it kind of out to the side here, out into the side and up, and it's gonna be another circle. And it's gonna be a smaller circle this time. Okay, and then we'll put another circle and it's going to act as his snout, and we're going to put it about the same height as the head, and it's going to be a way smaller circle. And it's okay if this is messy. It's okay if all of them are messy because we are connecting them all together anyway. So you can see that was not a very clean circle, but it's okay because we're going to connect them all. So let's connect the head to the body. So with the circle that's its head, we're going to draw a line from the head to the body. It's kind of curved, but not exactly. Just draw a line straight from the head to the body. And then from the bottom, draw a line from the bottom of the head to the bottom of the body. Oh my. So I put a little too much water apparently. That's where we get the drip from. And I want to clean that up. So I'm going to take my rag. If this happens to you, just wipe it right off. Okay, let's fill in those gaps. And it's starting to take the shape of a horse. Now let's connect the nose to the head. And so the top of it is just going to be kind of a straight line. And then this part of the head is its kind of jowl. So like its jaw. And then this part is the nose. So we are going to make sure we keep some of that shape. and connect them, but also leave a bit of a shape. And if it helps now to kind of go over all the lines, because you can kind of see that a general shape of a horse is forming. And I want to extend the body a little bit. Maybe make its rear end a little bit bigger. Alright, so you see how it's turning into a horse. Now let's add his legs. The legs are going to be a little tricky, but just follow me and you'll be fine. From the front of the body, the legs are going to be going out, like he's jumping over a big castle in the sky. So let's put a line going out from his body. Because here is going to be his shoulder, and then there's his elbow. Horses have kind of short elbows. And then put a line straight out, and then put room for his hoof. So it's going to be a sort of angled down rectangle. Okay. And then we're going to sort of do the same with the back leg, but going that way. So a line that's going out, and then his, I guess you would call that his knee or his heel. It goes up. So really what we're doing is creating these angles. And then a line down. And then the hoof will be going out. So it's almost like we're creating a zigzag and connecting it to the body. All right, that looks pretty good to me. Okay, now let's add the horn already. The horn and the ears. So the horn is going to go straight out of the head, right towards the sky. So draw a line, and it's almost like a triangle because it's a big spike coming out of their head. And you can make it as big as you want. Just like that. And then the ears are going to be kind of going the opposite direction. They're not as big. They're going to be bigger triangle. It's going to be another triangle coming out of the back of his head, but going the opposite way. So you almost have a check mark here, right? Like here's the ear, and then here's the horn for the unicorn. And it's almost like a check mark. Okay, we've got a pretty good shape for a unicorn here. If you want to straighten out any of those edges, now would be the time to do that. Before we move on to the details like the mane and the tail and the castle down below, let's put in some nice little stars and a moon just to complete our night sky. So I'm washing my brush now, the white, because we're going to use a smaller brush. So we're going to use a brush like this, just a small round brush for the stars. So we put some water on this. Now we're going to go in with the white and put them wherever you want. I'm going to start with the moon just so I know where the moon is going to be, and I'm going to put it right in front of the unicorn. And the moon is going to be a nice little crescent shape. Now let's go into some stars. So you can make the stars any way you want. You can just do little dots like that, and that's totally fine. Or you can, if you know how to draw a star, so one line, Another. That is also a great way to paint a star. Or you can do a little diamond shape. I'm gonna do a variety of those. So I'm gonna put a couple stars in, I'll put a couple of diamonds in, a couple dots, just to make a nice variety. And you can put them anywhere you want. Just try to maybe avoid above your unicorn and right back here because we're gonna put the tail in the mane there soon. Don't go too far down either because we're gonna put some clouds here and then you're gonna paint your castle down here as well. But I like how many stars I already have in here. So let's move on to adding to some more of the unicorn, so the mane and the tail. So I'm gonna do pink. You can do whatever color you want, but I'm gonna do pink. So let's mix together our white, quite a bit of white. And a little bit of red. And you don't want to add too much red because otherwise it'll be way too red. But I think that's a pretty nice pink right there. I tend to like my pinks a little bit more on the light side, so adding more white. Let's do the tail first. So we're gonna start the tail connecting to the rear. Connecting to the booty. We're gonna start out here, past the hoofs, the back hoof, and we are going to make almost like an S shape. So it's kind of floating out behind. We're just gonna build off of that. So making the bottom part a little bit thicker. And I'm even gonna add a little bit of a curly cue to the end. So it's like an S with an extra curve on the end. Just like that. Now let's do the mane. So with the mane, the hair is going to be attached all the way around the neck and up to the top. So the tail is attached to pretty much one point of the body, and with the mane, it's attached to multiple parts. So we're gonna do that same kind of curved S shape, but we're doing it all the way up along the neck. And then you kind of connect them together so it looks like one big piece of hair. And then for the forehead, let's bring the hair around the horn. And I'm making a little bit more of that S shape because they're kind of like the bangs of a horse. And now I'm going to even add a couple of details to the horn. So with a unicorn horn, it's usually like twisted around each other. And so if we put just a couple of lines up the cone, now it looks like it has a little bit of a curlicue cone horn. And I am even going to put a little nose hole right here with the pink. And I'm also going to make the hooves pink. So I'm just, at this point, I'm just filling in where I've placed the hoof shape with pink. And I'm gonna do it on the back as well. Pink unicorn going on. She looks very cute, in my opinion. So now let's clean this brush off and we'll move on to a purple because I want to just put an eye because our unicorn has no eye. So I got that cleaned off and now let's go in with the purple. And I'm going to give our unicorn a closed eye. So it's gonna be a big U. Right on the head. And then we're gonna add some nice little eyelashes. So we're just drawing some eyelashes, some lines straight out of the U. And now our unicorn has a nice little eye. I'm gonna give her a smile too. So down at the snout, I just made a little smile. Yeah. And if you want to add anything else to your unicorn, feel free. You know, at this point, I also think that it could use some stars up ahead. So I'm just gonna go ahead in the moment, just add a couple more stars. So you can always add things as you're painting. You can always add more if you want. So the part that you're adding today is a castle. So the unicorn is jumping over a castle in the clouds. So I'm gonna lead you through painting the clouds and then I'm gonna leave it for you to finish the castle. So let's take the pink again. And I don't have very much pink left, so I'm gonna mix the rest of my white with some red. And if you need to get some more paint as well, you're more than welcome to do that. And it's not going to be a perfect mix, so there's a lot of streakiness, but with clouds, there's a lot of different colors in it, so it doesn't have to be completely perfectly mixed, in my opinion. So let's start a cloud on this side, and we're going to put some nice curves and fill them up. Need some more water too. And again, these don't have to be perfect because clouds aren't perfect. But if you get the general shape of these curves in the sky, they will come out like clouds. And remember, don't put too much red in because red is pretty overpowering as a color. Okay, and there are your clouds. So from here on, you are going to paint in a castle right in the middle of here. Always my advice is just to go in with some shapes. Castles are usually a mixture of rectangles and triangles. This one was a lot of fun. Thank you, Emma, again for suggesting a unicorn. I had a lot of fun painting it. I hope you do too. Don't forget to send me your finished paintings to mattiekarrcreative@gmail.com and let me know if you have any other suggestions for things that we should paint in this class. Obviously, you guys have a lot of really fun ideas, so let me know that. I am a freelance artist, so for updates on my personal art that I do outside of this class, prints that you can purchase on my website, go to mattiekarr.com, follow me on Instagram, Facebook, mattiekarrcreative. I have a LinkedIn, so connect with me on there. Oh, this week I also have a watercolor demo as well coming out this week. So for all of you who have been wanting a watercolor tutorial, be on the lookout for that this week. I'm gonna keep painting and I will see you in the next video. Happy painting!